Welcome back to the Conference USA Tip-Off Show. I'm John Schriff, and we are pleased to be joined by Florida Atlantic Owls women's basketball head coach Jennifer Sullivan. Coach, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Before we get started and talk about your team you have coming back, let's first take a look back at last season. How would you sum up how the year went for you guys?
Hey, John, it was a great year. Thanks for having me on. I'll start with, obviously, it was a long year. We had a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, and, losing's tough. We had to battle throughout the year with that, along with injuries and things of that nature. But I will say this, I thought it was a good learning opportunity for our players. Our staff in our first year learned a lot about ourselves and each other, and, really proud of the fight our players showed throughout the season, especially in terms of just always showing up, whether it be for practice or games. They always showed up, and I think a lot of that experience is going to carry over and help us this year.
Looking back at that schedule and some of the results, there were a ton of close games against some of the top teams in the conference. What's your message to the ladies who are returning after fighting so hard in your first season?
Well, I think they all felt it throughout the year, how close we were, having so many games go down to the very wire, including some of the teams in the top of our league having opportunities, one possession away against Middle Tennessee, the same with Charlotte, and then other games throughout the year. So I think they know how close we are. We finished the year with a pretty consistent 5 to 6 healthy bodies, and so knowing we were that close with not a full roster gives everyone hope and encouragement that being healthy this year, and we'll have an opportunity to stay in games and win.
So looking at this season, you have 4 of your top 6 scorers returning. How excited are you heading into your second season?
Oh, very excited, very excited. I think we had a terrific summer. We brought a lot of new players, but to go along with our returners. And I think the biggest point for us in the summer was the weight room and getting to know each other. That was really important, and I think we took care of that in a big way. I think our players came really, really close on the court and off, and I thought they did a good job getting stronger in the weight room. And now that we've started into preseason work heading into the season, we really worked on putting in a lot of our system and seeing where we are on the court. And I'm really, really pleased with where they are right now and kind of where we can get off to a good start from the beginning.
Take us through some of your key players, and also I understand you have 7 new players, 3 big transfers who are coming in. So take us through some of the names you're going to count on this season.
Well, from our returning group, Amber Gatson, returning post players. This is Amber's 5th year here at FAU, and we was really pleased in our first year working with Amber. I think she had a really breakout year for her career in terms of scoring and rebounding. She's a great post presence for us, and not only on the court. She brings a lot of leadership to our team. She's great in the locker room. Amber just gets it, and she's hungry, and she's ready to give everything she has in her final year. We also have Yanetta Rosentale returning. Yanetta, a really skilled 4 or 5 player. Had a great season for us last year. Has gotten off to a great start, in great shape this year as well. And again, her and Amber both bring a lot of experience. They played in big games. They competed at a high level. I think they'll be able to bring that to our group. We also have Alexa Zapp, one of our top perimeter scorers coming back. And Alexa, just a savvy playmaker. Alexa was a big part of what we were doing last year in terms of toughness, getting after it on the defense and offensive end. And I'm really excited about what she's going to do this year as well. We've got other players that played a role. Sophia Galleron, Nico Olazolo did a lot of good things. So they bring a lot of experience, and they'll contribute in that way. And then, like you mentioned, we've got 7 new bodies coming. We've got a good mix, 4 true freshmen. 2 of those freshmen are out of the state, and then 2 players are in-state in Florida. And we're really excited about their contributions early. They'll have to play. They have to compete, but they're not afraid. I think they'll be able to help us out in a big way. And then we've got 3 transfers coming in from Kansas State, Rutgers, and Fairleigh Dixon. And those players, I think, bring a lot of size, experience to our team. They're great people. Devin Scott is a point guard from Fairleigh Dixon, has brought a little bit of consistency for us at the point guard spot, which we need, along with 2 big wings in Jada Moore from Kansas State and Joya Maddox from Rutgers. Obviously, they have Big 12 and Big 10 experience. Their size and athleticism will make us stronger on the perimeter, and they can all rebound the ball well. So I think it's going to be a great mix across the board with both sides.
Having all the new experience and then having now players who are healthy and having a full roster, how does that change your coaching philosophy and the things you're able to do now in your second year?
Well, I think it allows our staff to coach a little bit more the way we want to coach. We can play faster, which we want to do on offense, but then also we can be aggressive and rotate a lot of bodies on defense to create more offense. So I think it's just year two of being able to start moving your roster to fit into a little bit of our system, allow us to be more physical and compete, even in practice. I mean, last year just not being able to competitively go 5-on-5 was a challenge, and we kind of had to run into that challenge about Thanksgiving. So this year we've been able to play competitive 5-on-5 each day, which I think is making our team better, more confident in their abilities, and that'll make things better in the long run for us, I think.
All right, time to talk schedule. Take us through your non-conference schedule and then highlight some of the key games in Conference USA.
Well, we're really excited. We'll start up our first official game will be November the 10th. We'll travel to Bethune-Cookman. And again, obviously just a great game for a lot of reasons. It's their kids' game, so we'll play at 11 a.m. against a lot of people. The gym will be loud, so that'll be a good challenge for us to be able to talk over a loud crowd of kids and be in a tough environment. So that'll be how we kick off. We've got our Thanksgiving tournament here where we have Butler, Sacred Heart, and Binghamton coming in for our Thanksgiving tournament. Really excited about that. We're excited about our trip to Miami. We go to Miami every year. We'll play them November the 16th, and that'll be a good test for us to see where we are. So a lot of what we're doing now that's the marker for us. Where can we be November the 16th? We play Miami at Miami. It was a close game last year. They're a really good basketball club, and we're excited to see where we are when that test comes. We'll also travel to Chicago this year to finish up before Christmas, and we'll play a good Illinois team at Illinois. So again, I think the Miami, the Illinois game, our Thanksgiving tournament are big points for our non-conference schedule to see where we are. I think we have an opportunity to go into Christmas in a good situation heading into conference play. We'll obviously start conference play before Christmas this year. We'll got FIU will come to us before Christmas break, which I think is great. I'm excited about that. Obviously, it's not a long trip for them. We'll finish up with finals and then kind of get a taste of Conference USA play before we go into the break. And then after Christmas, we'll start with North Texas. And just across the board for us, I think we're excited about every team because I think we feel like we have an opportunity to make our mark and kind of prove ourselves after the first year. And our kids have a chip on their shoulder. So all the teams in our league, which are really, really competitive, strong league, we're excited for the test.
Jennifer Sullivan, head coach for the Florida Atlantic women's basketball team. We're certainly excited to see what a healthy Owls team can do this year. Good luck.
Thank you very much, John.
All right, don't go anywhere. We have more Florida Atlantic basketball. We're talking to the men's team when we come back. We are back here in the Conference USA Tip-Off Show. I'm John Tripp, and we are joined now by Florida Atlantic men's basketball coach Dusty May. Dusty, congratulations. 4 consecutive winning seasons. That is the first time in school history you have done that. Entering year 5, what is the goal of the program this season?
To make another step forward, John. We feel like we've made incremental progress each season, and we've had a myriad of issues why we couldn't get over the hump. And we feel like this year we have enough depth, enough experience, good guard play, quality post play to compete with the teams up top on a regular basis.
So take me through this summer and this offseason. What did you do as a coaching staff to make sure you guys are able to get over the hump this season?
Well, we really tried to do a deep dive into what caused us to lose some games, and we were in a lot of close games, and our numbers and our analytics said we should have had a better record than what we did. So we really wanted to try to dive in and get underneath the numbers and see what reality was, and we turned the ball over too much, and so every day we've tried to stress that and address those issues, and just really tried to do a deep dive in ourselves, what we do really well and what we don't do so well. And, just try to take a bird's eye view at our issues and correct them in the offseason.
In this new landscape in college basketball, and really all college sports, we see teams having a completely new look every single season. You're not one of them. You have your top 6 scorers that you return. As a coach, what are you able to do when you have so much consistency from year to year?
Well, the terminology, we don't have to teach it as much, and the culture piece, when you add just a few new pieces, a lot of things are just kind of done behind the scenes, and we don't have to be quite as intentional with going step by step. We were able to start a little further on our journey, and our older guys, our veterans, have done an amazing job of getting the younger guys up to speed. And it's been a blast being around this group for the last couple of years. The majority of our roster has been with us now going on year 3. So we're very, very fortunate and blessed to be able to spend the time we have with those guys and help them on their journey, and we're enjoying every moment.
Before we talk about some of the key transfers you have coming in, brag about some of the guys you have coming back and some of the steps that they've made this offseason.
I guess I'll begin with our group that's been with us for 3 years. They're all technically COVID sophomores. Elijah Martin, John L. Davis, Nick Boyd, and Giancarlo Rosado. They've all improved each year, and now all 4 of them are going to be integral pieces of our program. And then you factor in B.J. Greenlee, who's a 2-year double-digit scorer who's played the point guard spot for us, who's a good shooter, good facilitator. Nick Boyd had a great year 2 years ago. People have forgotten about him. Mike Forrest, obviously, is a 4-year starter for us going on year 5 with this bonus year has been a very important part of our program for a long time. And up front, Vlad Golden. We have Jalen Gaffney coming in from UConn. We've got a number of pieces in addition to a junior college transfer, Isaiah Gaines, and a freshman big, Brennan Lorient, who we think can really help us as well. So we feel like we have a lot of options, a lot of pieces, and we're excited to see what this group can become.
Jalen Gaffney is certainly that big piece. First, how did you land him from UConn? And then what does he add to this team? How is he going to fit in?
Well, we are familiar with Jalen when when I was assistant coach at Florida. We had recruited him and a few of his AU teammates. So we knew his father, we knew his family, we knew his coaches already. So it really was a short courtship as far as when he went into the transfer portal. They wanted him to go. His family wanted him to go someplace where he was familiar with the coaching staff. So it was a natural fit, and he just adds someone who's very, very composed, who's poised. He's been in a lot of very big games coming from UConn, and he was an integral part of their program. So we're just going to lean on him for decision making, for veteran leadership, and then he'll do a little bit of everything. He enjoys passing the ball. And in today's climate where our game has almost become an individual at times, to have a guy that really enjoys passing the ball, I think helps our team chemistry and helps the other guys be successful as well.
Nice. All right, so you guys are picked in the preseason poll to finish 5th. What is the goal, and what do you think is the ceiling for this year's team?
Like I said, we feel like we can compete with everyone in Conference USA, and our we've got to be better on the road. We've got to not turn the basketball over, correct the things we had, and we feel like we'll be right there in position to win each and every night. We obviously want to finish higher than we ever have each season, so we're chasing a championship. We feel like we have the pieces if everything goes right and we stay healthy and guys continue to improve and have great attitudes. We feel like we'll have a chance to compete for a championship.
I'm looking at your schedule, and the way you guys start this off, you have some tough games non-conference. Let's take a look at your schedule. Walk me through some of these matchups. Ole Miss, Florida, Bryant, before you get into conference play. That is tough.
No question. When just immediately going on the road to a back-to-back SEC contest, 2 contests will really challenge us early, but that's what we want to do. We want to see where we were, and we really feel like playing those games, it's I guess, championship level intensity environments. So it gives us a chance to really evaluate ourselves, go back to the drawing board and see what we need to fix, whether we win or lose. And then when you factor in Bryant and South Alabama and Eastern Michigan with Amani Bass and a great coach in Stan Heath, we have a lot of challenging games. And even Detroit Mercy, who my old boss for a number of years, Mike Davis, and his son Antoine Davis is probably the best scorer in college basketball. We feel like there's going to be a number of challenges pre-conference, which is what we need to do to prepare for conference play. As North Texas has shown us every year, and UAB showed us last year, the competitive pre-conference schedule really helps prepare you for a long and gruesome conference slate.
Well, you certainly will be tested early, looking to see how this team does in a non-conference schedule. Dusty May, head coach for Florida Atlantic men's basketball team. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, John.